Welcome back to the archives of dark sayings. Today, we're dusting off a legacy file that takes us into the heart of mid-century mythology. This originally aired on March 18th of 2018, and this session looks at Valiant Thor, the man with no fingerprints who allegedly walked into the Pentagon in 1957. And while we moved our focus toward the tangible shifts in our modern world, stories like these are the blueprints for the synthetic reality we often discuss today. Was he a space traveler, a psychological operation, or a figment of a different era's imagination? Join me and Jen as we revisit this investigation into the legend of the stranger at the Pentagon. And let's see what this vintage mystery can still tell us about the world that was.
Hey there, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? It's Pete and it's Creepy Lookbook Live. I'm feeling extra spicy tonight, so get a little macho man coming in there. And tonight we got a special guest with us. It's Jen.
Hi.
Tonight's topic. Let me see. I just wanted to mention we got Man Ray Hope is in here. Who else? Dangy, Darren, Sangy, Timothy S. Who else we got? How far I got to go back here? All right. All right, well, let's rush it forward. Let's not keep dwelling into the past of old comments. So, I'm feeling good tonight, everybody. I'm feeling very good. I got Jen here. It's always a good time when we get to talk. And today's topic, I think, is an interesting one. Definitely the classic topics of the UFO lore. The story of Valiant Thor. And Jen actually just finished reading the book, A Stranger in the Pentagon by Dr. Frank Stranges, the man who brought us the story of Valiant Thor. Jen, can you give me your overall review of the book?
So enjoying sci-fi, which like at the very beginning of the book, they give like a disclaimer, you can choose to believe what's in this as Strange's claims it to be, or you could just read it as a novel. And I liked that because as a novel, I thought it was fantastic. Growing up, I really liked the day the Earth stood still. And I saw a lot of similarities between the two. That was my favorite movie when I was a kid. And so it was a good read. Kind of interesting claims. The overall messages that Val had were, I think, novel. I don't know if I agree with like the one world government, but yeah, I liked it.
I'll tell you what, that's an interesting thing about Valiant Thor. Like, this is a guy that essentially, I mean, for all intents and purposes, we can take as a science fiction character and purely a creation of Doctor Strange's imagination. But he's transcended that. This guy's become part of the overwhelming milieu of UFO stuff. So Valiant Thor, he's from Venus. He's from the planet Venus. Yeah, he's a Venusian. He lives inside of Venus. So the idea
that was the thing that I didn't really. They were claiming that the heat that we tested was just like a cloud, right? And that below was where the people of Venus live.
Yeah, they lived within the interior of the world. So I guess like, it's the same kind of deal here when the Earth goes to hell, everybody goes underground. So it could be that kind of situation. But they're more highly advanced than us in like every way. And also, here's the strangest thing. Okay, so Doctor Strange's, not like the Doctor Strange movies, but Doctor Strange's, the Dr. Frank Strange's. He was a Christian minister, so he was a very religious guy.
Yeah.
And the strange thing about Valiant Thor, the man from Venus, is he's also a very Christian guy.
Yes.
From the planet Venus. Yep. And so that's the thing that kind of throws me for a loop with this whole thing. I could see if it would be even more believable had Doctor Strange just chosen to just create a very similar religious belief for Valiant rather than just making him straight out Christian. So like if basically he told a Jesus story about a character named Gleep Glop the Venusian or something, then it would be like, oh wow, look at this strange similarity in their religions and ours. But he's straight up like Jesus. How did the Venusians know about Jesus is a big question of mine. Is there like a Book of Mormon style Jesus goes to Venus. That Jesus goes to Venus.
Well, my
I gotta
understanding
write that down.
that was that it's that basically the Bible has happened on all planets, or at least has spread through all planets.
Well, yeah, because he talks about this galactic religion of Christianity.
Well, yeah, and they all pray, and they it's basically the same stories, nothing's different. So I was interested in that and wish it would have been like expanded, because that's a really short book. They would have just spread that out a little bit more. I would have been a little bit more interested. But
it's like, it's a little bit like if the Bible, like, it just replayed out on every other planet in exactly the same way, like, it just, I don't know. I could buy that a little more if it was like these extraterrestrials had knowledge of the events that occurred on Earth, because effects had ramifications on their world as well. But like the idea that Moses walked on every planet, and you got a 6-headed alien crab monster somewhere out there in the Draco Nebula who's holding up 2 stone tablets and helping people cross the sulfur rivers of the desert of Gleepglorp. Like that's that. You'll find me use a lot of Gleepglorp tonight. I'm really hooked on that word.
Well, and the thing that I thought was interesting is the people from Venus were surprised that the Earthlings looked like them. So it's not like they knew that we all came from a different planet, which would have made more sense to me.
Yeah, well, he did say Jesus came from another planet, right? He said Jesus was an alien.
Yeah, but he was surprised that humans themselves look like the people from Venus.
Oh, because he figured we'd look different.
Yeah.
Like Planet of the Apes or something.
I guess.
Not the new one. I'm an old guy. I like the old Dr. Zaius monkey masks. I love that stuff.
Prefer those.
Big fan of Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. Big fan. Love that one. What's that, 4? I think that's 4.
Yeah, I used to watch all the AMC when they'd run the marathons of them.
Oh, yeah. They used to do fun stuff on cable TV before it died.
Yes.
Before that died, and then everything else is on its way out too.
Mm-hmm.
So Valiant Thor, he comes to Earth in like what, 57?
58.
March 16th was the day he landed. Yes, March 16th. No, 1958. 1958 is when he meets Doctor Strange's.
Oh, that's right.
He lands on Earth in Alexandria, Virginia on March 16th, 1957. 21 years ago. You know what's odd too? When I did my Phil Schneider video, I think he had died 21 years ago. So it looks like I make tribute videos at 21 years out of sheer coincidence. So yes, 21 years ago. No, I'm sorry, not 21. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. I'm exhausted.
It's late.
It is late. It's been a fun day with the baby, let me tell you. So yeah, it was March 16th, 1957. And what are we talking about? Almost 60 years?
Yeah.
60 years ago. Look at that. I just guessed. I was lucky I got it. So 60 years ago, Valiant Thor lands in Alexandria, Virginia. But he's on a ship with 2 other people. There's the woman, right? And she's got a real far out space name. Jen, could you tell everybody what her far out space name is?
It's Jill.
It's Jill. That's like
Jack and Jill.
Yeah, like Doctor Strange just couldn't even bother to come up with a boss name for Jill. Like he's got Valiant Thor. Like why isn't she like Cleopatra?
Well,
lightning bolt.
It's 50s, 60s when he's coming up with all this stuff. So I'm assuming he's just like, the woman doesn't matter.
And there was a third guy, right? Like,
there was 1 or 2 other people. I can't remember what the other guy's name was.
I don't even know if they tell you his name.
But there are people along with them. And I love, now this is prior to Star Wars, I love that he just has like the presence to be like, take me to your leader. And they just, what was it? The power of positivity that he was putting on them. And then they just allowed him to go.
Right.
Jedi.
Yeah, he's like able to like the shadow, he clouds men's minds and stuff. So he uses the power of positivity. He uses suggestion to manipulate them, and they don't shoot him when he shows up.
Yeah.
So I think the first person they take him to was the Secretary of Defense.
Yep.
Neil McElroy.
Mhm.
And then he gets to meet with Eisenhower and Nixon.
Now, Eisenhower, they have a quote. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's basically like, he's like, come to my planet and see my people. And he's like, no, I have too much stuff here. Too many people rely on me. Too many committees. Like, maybe in a few years, which I appreciate. Also, his Nixon description is fantastic.
Yeah, the whole Eisenhower Nixon thing. Eisenhower's big with the UFO stuff. Like, he's tied into a lot of this UFO shit because of the Greater Treaty, and the idea that he made contact with the aliens. And then out of the Greater Treaty came Project Serpo, where there was like an alien exchange program with some U.S. soldiers and with some space aliens. And then
Doesn't his great grandkids claim that this is true?
You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, his I think it's his granddaughter.
Yeah.
Not his great granddaughter so much, but his granddaughter, who does the whole like circuit tour and does the talking and the radio shows and the podcast. She's the one out there in the front of this. And I'll tell you, I don't know, like there's a lot that was going on with the UFO thing back during Eisenhower's presidency. I think I think he's definitely connected to something. Maybe not all the fantastic stuff they say that he's connected to, but I think he's definitely connected to some of that.
And all the pictures of these people, they picked the best looking people to go along with, all the different stories that like the aliens are tall, beautiful people, and we're just schlubs.
Yeah, but I mean, who are you going to take a picture of? Some like short, fat schmuck like me? Like, hey, everybody, this is Valiant Thor. It's just like me sitting somewhere looking tired.
Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, some regular looking dude, like just like all worn out on a bench somewhere. Here, everybody, here's the alien. Bozo McTired Pants.
I've recently been getting into the time travelers. The people that claim to be time travelers. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. And my favorite was a gentleman who looked like Jabba the Hutt. And I'm like, just in my head, I'm like, it's just like that Disney movie. Obviously, they don't have the exercise or the fitness pill that we want.
Oh, since I don't think you can see the chat, can you?
Mm-mm.
Tina wants me to tell you, she's very adamant that I tell you your skin looks flawless. So there you go, Tina.
Thank you. Makeup forever.
Okay. Just Andy Passaggio. Yeah, Jeremy, that's another interesting guy. He was a time traveler too. You know what? I'm wondering. It's very possible that Valiant Thor could have been lying and was not a space traveler, but was himself a time traveler from Earth, messing with these people. Like, it really seems like this was like a prank that some guy and his buddy, and they brought their girlfriend along. And they just hipsters from the future. They come back to the past and they're like, oh, "Watch this," They're
totally gonna let me meet their president.
Yeah. I'll use my mind control on these dumb cops. Like I think that's a possibility. That or this is entirely made up story.
It's too similar to A Day the Earth Stood Still. It's, way too similar. Even like the part with his like clothing, he talks about how like they were doing all these experiments to try and cut it and all this stuff.
Oh
and,
yeah, shoot it with a laser and they dropped a bomb on it. Like everything they could do to try and destroy the material that his spacesuit was made of. And not even like a spacesuit. It's like legitimately his clothes. Yeah, it's like his Star Trek clothes. So I got a question for you in chat from Jeffrey Jefferton. If you could travel in time, to which period would you travel?
See, there's a comedian that has a joke about times that like anybody that's not white or like not a woman, that they can go at any time. But I would have to go just any time where women had rights.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing to point out. That is a good thing to point out. Or you could go back somewhere so primitive they would assume you were some kind of
God
divine being or something. Yeah.
No, I'd have to be very picky.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would Roman times I'd like to go to. Egyptian times.
I'd also want cloaking technology so I could hide from the locals.
Yes.
There you go.
Well, if you had a cloak anytime, I'd go to like the samurai stuff. I'd see all like the really cool Japanese history. Or if you could just turn into the people and be able to speak their language.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. That's not a bad one. Let me see here. Just checking some of these comments while we're going at it. I apologize because I saw one I wanted to address. Vincente. Yeah, you heard me on Tradcat Night. Let me bring that up, everybody. If you didn't know, I did a show with Tradcat Night on Friday. We had an hour-long discussion. It was really good. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this channel, but it's a pretty big channel. He's got over 100,000 subscribers. He's been doing his work for a long time. Spoken to a lot of people like L.A. Marzulli, people like that. So yeah, I think you guys would definitely want to check out his channel. He's a traditionalist Catholic, and that's the perspective that he's coming from. But he's also very on top of Nibiru, Maitreya, Project Bluebeam, and Illuminati. Like he stays at the tip of the spear on that stuff. That's a Alex Jones line, everybody. I'm gonna get sued. He stays on the edge of the blade with that stuff. So definitely check that out. Now I'm gonna have to buy some nutraceuticals so I don't get sued. Gonna need like super male or something.
Male vitality.
I gotta get some of that. I'm gonna mainline it right into my jugular. Super male vitality.
And then go fight the evil forces of the Illuminati.
I'm gonna wrestle the Illuminati single-handedly. Freaking Incredible Hulk through Bohemian Grove.
Why I'm gonna love like comedies in like 10 years where all that stuff is brought up in like movies and stuff like that. Just take some male vitality and go fight like a tsunami.
There you go. You know, you clap your hands and the tsunami goes back in the other direction.
Yeah.
They have super female vitality.
Like
they do have super female vitality. That is a thing. So they got it for everybody.
Yes, they do.
They got it for everybody. Everybody can be vital as possible. I want to make my own stuff, and I'll call it like ultra robust formula. It's the ultra robust formula, and it does everything you ever need it to do. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration.
Their penis gets so big.
It's out of hand. You're going to have to tie it in a knot to get your pants on. Terrible. We're working blue tonight. Thank you, Tina. Again, creepy little book, Facebook group. I'm not a big fan of Facebook, but you know what? That's where the people are trying to grow, trying to get a little bigger here. That's how it works. You have to constantly push. You got to go where the people are. So that's what's happening. So join the Facebook group, and we'll be able to stay in contact even when we're not doing this live stuff here. And that'll be fun.
Do you guys also partake in the Instagram?
I do not. I had a problem with Instagram where I get way too political, and just I get out of hand. So no, I don't mess with Instagram. There's only so many times I can post spicy memes and then people stop talking to me.
Makes the family reunions really awkward.
Oh yeah, I don't think it just makes everything more difficult. So at least if I keep my extremism isolated to Creepy Little Book, because nobody cares what I'm doing here in my personal life, they don't watch. And but if I'm like on Instagram, it's like the effing Illuminati's at it again, you know. And I know this show is definitely a little light tonight because I am so jazzed up on coffee and deprived of sleep, and because our topic isn't really, there have been some heavy topics the last couple weeks.
It's really
this is about a man's lie. This is about a man's lie. This is about a guy who lied about meeting a space alien who was a Christian from Venus.
Well, it also like brings up the idea that he is special enough to have met these people. And the part that like really, I was driving for like an hour and a half listening to this just on audio book, and he is listing off all of the people that just, all of his accomplishments and all the people that think that he's just amazing. And that got just too much. That's when I kind of dropped off.
Here's everyone who thinks that I am wonderful.
Yes. And here's what they say about me. Like 45 minutes of it. It was rough.
He said that I smelled like a good, clean aftershave.
I am welcome back at any time.
I am the ambassador of Jesus aliens. So, Valiant Thor, he has a spaceship, of course. My favorite part of the Valiant Thor story is the fact that his spaceship is hidden at Lake Mead, the man-made lake out in Nevada, which is also located by the Hoover Dam, which many of you may know from my previous video. Hoover Dam, I don't know if it's called What Are They Hiding? Or, no, Stargate. Stargate in the Hoover Dam. So yes, if you don't know from that video titled Stargate in the Hoover Dam, there is a Stargate in the Hoover Dam, which is located near Lake Mead, where again, Valiant Thor parks his spaceship. Very far away from his work at the Pentagon.
You need a cup that says Stargate at the Hoover Dam.
I should. That's the next mug I'm making, everybody. Stargate at the Hoover Dam. Here's a chance where I'm going to shill some stuff. I have a bunch of new designs on the Teespring store. We got a really cool Joan of Arc shirt that's also available in a tote. And the Lady Montgomery tote is now available. So if you need totes, I know that a lot of these supermarkets now, they want to charge you for bags. They want to nickel and dime you for bags. You don't want to do that. You want to get yourself a tote because you can reuse that. And your tote can have Lady Montgomery on it. So there's some of that stuff there. Also, there's a Patreon. Shill for money here at the Creepy Little Book. So if you want to give some money to the Patreon or PayPal because you're quick like that, or you got like lots of Bitcoin laying around, I'll take that too. And don't forget, right here while we're going live, super chats, baby. You can donate right through YouTube. Okay, that's enough shilling for now. Tina, you ordered your tote. Thank you. Valiant Thor. Okay, this is from Redbeard. Valiant Thor was created in the Nazi space base on the moon. Redbeard, the space base on the moon is just from a movie. The real space base is under Antarctica.
Thank you. This is what I've been telling him this whole time.
It's the location of the last battalion. They are the last remnants of the Nazi forces. So down in Antarctica, I think it's called Base 211. I believe that's the name of it, or 221. It's some combination of two and something. And it's located in Queen Maud in New Swabia. That's where the last battalion of the Nazis went. They used Vril magic. That was Trapper Snap. Is that? Oh my goodness! Holy smokes! That is insanely generous, Trapper Snap. That is awesome. Thank you. I think you added one too many zeros on there. I hope, man, thank you. Holy shit. I'm floored. I don't even know what to say. That's amazing. You just made my week, sir. Whew. That was $100 donation from Trapper Snap in a super chat.
Who has the best name ever?
That is awesome. Thank you, sir. Wow. I lost my place. Where did we leave off at?
We were talking about Nazis.
Yes, Nazis. Nazis in Antarctica. So yeah, Redbeard. Perhaps Valiant Thor was, well, I don't know. This was after World War II. He could have been a secret Nazi agent.
He was definitely Aryan looking.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? He could have come straight from the secret Nazi base, came here to fool around with the Pentagon. He could have spent 3 years in the Pentagon getting all our secrets. And next thing he goes, he disappears back to his secret Nazi base in Antarctica. And he did. He had the look, didn't he? Didn't he have the look?
Yes, very much so.
Mm-hmm. You guys know what look I'm talking about. The look that those people who tried to conquer the world in 1938, those people, they had a very specific look they were into, and that's what Valiant Thor looked like. Holy shit, Redbeard. What are you doing? It's a $100 donation from Redbeard. What is happening today?
They want to make you cry.
I'm not gonna cry. You're getting me close though. Jumping Jesus. I am gonna pass out. Tina, you're gonna have to call 911. Call my wife, tell her I'm passed out in the living room. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm telling you what, I'm shocked. So, where were we? Where were we before?
The look.
The look, yes, the look. The look. The look of the people who tried to conquer the world. Valiant Thor shared this look. He had the very appearance that they found so pleasing. So I think we're on the verge of a brand new suggestion here. I think Valiant Thor, I'm gonna be so bold, I'm gonna make the suggestion. Valiant Thor was an agent of the secret Nazis in Antarctica, and he infiltrated the Pentagon. Holy shit. We're on to something new here. We're on to something brand new here. There are secret agents from Antarctica who infiltrated our government in the 50s through their agent, Valiant Thor. That's it. That's that. Nothing's going to change my mind on this at all. This story isn't bullshit anymore, Jen. He knew what he was talking about. He was being lied to. That's why they showed up and we're like, oh, yes. Oh, hello, Dr. Stranges. We are Venusians. We love Jesus. Yes, take us to meet the Eisenhower. And how you? I'm doing French and shit here too. I'm all over the place. Take us to meet the Eisenhower. We are Venusians. That's what happened. Secret Nazis sent Val Thor, and his name's Thor. There's your clue right there. That's tied in. That's right into that stuff because they're all about that stuff too. They like them hammers, symbols. They like all the symbols of hammers. Like that. Looks like a hammer. Darren Fowler, $50. Oh my God. This is out of hand. You guys being out of hand tonight. Oh my goodness. All right, so Valiant Thor, like I said, this whole thing is kind of going in a different direction for me now because now when I'm really considering what went on with these lies, outright lies that were told to Doctor Strange by Valiant Thor, I'm convinced Valiant Thor was not. So Valiant Thor, what does he do? He offers, he makes an offer to the president and the vice president. Let's get into that a little bit. What was the deal he tried to make here? What kind of game was he playing?
Oh my goodness. I'm blanking what his deal was.
He wanted to he said he could
Didn't
he was going to cure everything.
Yeah, he was going to cure it. They were like, "Hey, do you want to help us with this space stuff? This what was it? It was Star Wars, right? They wanted him to help out with Star Wars." And then he's like, "No, this medical stuff. This medical stuff would be much better." And he was going to cure all the diseases, yeah. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to cure the diseases. I'm going to...
Because he wanted all the non-violent issues, right?
Yeah, it was like, what was he going to do? Hold on, I got notes here. Okay, eradicate disease, poverty, and even death. And even death.
How'd that work out for him?
They didn't want it. They said, no, sorry. We appreciate the offer, but that would be bad for the U.S. economy.
You would think, though, that his buddy Strange's, he would have helped him out with that. But, you know, he died in 2008.
You would think that the space alien wouldn't only make this offer to one country and take one no and be like, okay, whatever you say, Nixon, and fucking take off.
Well, it sounded like everything about the Russians was really like, they're not good people, they're not this. So they were off the table, but everywhere else, F it. Africa, they live in poverty, that's fine.
Oh, poor Africa.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure places like Africa, India, especially this time. This is post-war. Anywhere that was industrialized has been bombed to hell, except for the U.S. Anywhere that wasn't already industrialized is probably still living at a fairly low level of wealth. So, I mean, yeah, I understand that the U.S. and Russia were probably the world's single sole superpowers, but like, if you're a space alien, and was Val the leader of his planet?
He was in a council, is my understanding. He wasn't
Okay.
like,
But he's up there. Like he's
up there.
he's a mover and shaker on Venus.
Yes.
So this big deal on Venus, he like they don't have the wherewithal to, I don't know, come back at some point, or to, to leave that decision to be made up to one guy, and that guy's an Eisenhower. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't really measure up a lot. I think that it's more likely that Valiant Thor infiltrated the Pentagon for 3 years under false pretenses, and then when he met with Eisenhower and Nixon, he threatened them with death rays from fucking Antarctica.
That makes more sense to me, and here's why. If they are supposed to be Christians, they are supposed to be like God-fearing beings, you would go out and you would go and try and save the smaller poverty-stricken countries, the people that have been like demolished.
Yeah, like if you could show up and like eradicate poverty, why would you go to the leader of the first world when you could go to poverty-stricken areas and just introduce the technology right from the ground up? Like,
that's more Christ-like.
You go out to the fallow field and set it up with your space technology, and next thing you know, these starving places around the world are living in abundance. And you know what? And the U.S. said no. Why was the whole world denied? Because one man said no. Because these guys were agents of the Antarcticans.
Well, and they were sent in the Pentagon too. For 3 years, he was sent in there.
Yeah, living there, coming and going at will.
Could go through walls, he claimed. So he got all that intel.
Yeah, he could teleport.
Yeah.
He could teleport. So I guess that's how he got from Lake Mead to his home at the Pentagon. Because his ship, he touches down in Alexandria, but that doesn't mean the ship stays there. They probably got an autopilot on that thing, just flew it out to Lake Mead, but it seems far away.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the point. Maybe it was, somewhere that wasn't super accessible. You couldn't very well snap your fingers and, well, I guess they could. They could probably send troops wherever pretty quick, but, the guy can teleport. I don't know. It makes no sense. None of it makes any sense. It's all crazy. It really is. It's crazy. It's not as crazy as Montauk Project, but it's
that's my favorite though.
That's my favorite too because of the Bigfoot. But the whole deal is just, it's nuts. I'm a Christian. I'm a very Christian man. Also, I'm very special, and I met a space alien. And a space alien came here with his two friends, and they talked to Eisenhower, but he said no to their space magic. And what's that? How long does he stick around for? Does he leaves after those 3 years and never returns?
They maintain communication though, and I don't know if that was like via the telekinesis or whatever. What am I thinking of? Telepathy.
Telepathy. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the stuff.
Yes.
That's how it's done.
The power of positivity.
That's really, it's such a big deal with how his space magic works. Like, it really is like, hi, man, I'm just in a really good mood, and I think you should not shoot me. Okay.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, you want to meet the president? Come this way.
Yes, please take me to your leader. You're right. It is straight take me to your leader stuff. Like,
yep.
It's got the simple narrative of like 1950 science fiction. And it's during a UFO flap. And I think Valiant Thor takes credit for the UFO flap that occurred like in the 50s, like the one that flew over the Capitol building or some such. I think he claims responsibility for those.
Well, the whole beginning, he like talks about all the different interactions that he had, and he claims responsibility for like certain ships disappearing and stuff. No, they live on Venus now. It's fine.
Everybody's on Venus. That's where they're going. Let me see here. Let's take a little look at the chat. What time is it? Because I want to stay on top of this. Okay. Redbeard, $50. Thank you so much. Jesus Christmas. Guys are out of hand. Guys are out of hand. What's this going on? Oh, wrong messenger. Okay. D. Timothy, $50. Holy shit. Man, you guys are out of hand. I don't know what to say. This has been a crazy night. This is really out of hand.
You have to make those cups now.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to do that. I forget what they were going to say. Let me write that down. What the hell were you supposed to say?
Stargate at the Hoover Dam.
Oh, Stargate at the Hoover Dam. God. I'm going to be taking notes over here. I'm going to have to make a new piece of artwork for this because the last one I did was a couple years ago, and it's pretty rough compared to the sweet artwork I do for the thumbnails now. Sweet, sweet designs. Some of you can these sweet designs are available on merchandise at the Teespring store.
See, it would be so perfect. Take a sip. Stargate at the Hoover Dam.
You're right. I've got the Burning Alexandria one, and then I think there's a Thoth one, and then there's a Lady Montgomery one that comes in a lot of cool colors.
And she has not joined us.
No, because I got the cigar in here, so I got the cats outside. I don't let them in the room if I'm fucking puffing this thing away. But this time I have the air purifier on next to me. I think it's definitely making a difference. It's not like I'm not sitting in a cloud of smoke around here. All right. Well, I don't know how much more we can say about Valiant Thor beyond that. I mean, that's pretty much his whole story. He shows up for 3 years. He talks to a Christian man, talks to the president.
Nobody cares about Jill.
Yeah, thanks, no thanks. Yeah, nobody cares. Yeah, Jill literally, I don't know why she's even there. I don't even know why.
Somebody needs to make the sandwiches.
They got space sandwiches, and if they're anything like, there was one guy, I forget the story exactly, but the one guy, he met some aliens and they made him some crappy pancakes. I forget who the hell that was.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
is that the one that was from the sea? And then they come to take the water and
they need water. And and he's like, they look like little Italians. They look like Italians, and they made me terrible pancakes. And then they tested the pancakes, and they weren't that great. They were pancakes. They were regular old pancakes made with earth stuff.
Why have I never met these people in person?
I'd love to, man. I'd love to just, I'd love to have like a command van where it's like the creepy little book command van, and we're going around and we're talking to weirdos. Yes. Oh my God, that'd be fantastic. Like, I don't want to be like a ghost hunter who's like stomping around in the mud and getting his ass pinched by ghosts. Like, oh God, oh no, too many crickets. And then the guy's like, look, I got a scratch on my belly. You know, he's pulling up his shirt. I don't want none of that. But I wouldn't mind, like, say, here we are in the small town of blah, 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 Indiana. And I'm sitting down and having a piece of pie with an old lady who's seen Bigfoot or the dog man or something. Like,
or there's a portal in the back house. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, here we are at Joe Blow's Diner on the side of the road in somewhere in Arizona. This man saw the UFO. And I'm just like having a cup of coffee and a slice of cherry pie. And, you know, no Pete, no Vans, man around. It'd be like a command center kind of thing. Like one of those sweet Mercedes vans with all the windows in it. Yeah. Like something cool like that.
You definitely can't be called Creepy Pete if you have a van like that.
I don't like anybody to call me Creepy Pete. The channel's called Creepy Little Book. My name is Pete. Creepy Pete doesn't work because...
Especially with a van.
Yeah, I got a van. I got a mustache. Next thing you know, it's all over. I am pretty giddy, Tina. It's been pretty... I still can't believe it. Mm. Well, tobacco in my mouth. That's okay. It's okay. This is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous night. I can't even begin to tell you. So let's go to the chat. Let's go ahead. Let's see what people got to say. We'll take some questions. Yeah, it does, UFO. It sounds terrible. No creepy Pete. That's why, like, and the thing is, like, that's why I don't really have a name for like the fans and stuff, because I don't even like to say fans, the audience, the subscribers, the community, like, because
So
the
you
fans,
can't call your audience members the creepers?
yeah, I don't like that. Like, I don't like, because that's like when I watch these videos with like comic book channels and like nerd stuff. Some guys like, hey, what's up, geeksters? You know, and like there's the Funko Pops all behind them, or like, you know, stuff like that, and it's just like, I think it's so cringy. So like that's why I'm not like, hey, how you doing? Hello, creepers. You know, like it's not like we're doing. And I'll tell you, listen, don't get me wrong. The original idea for Creepy Little Book was going to be a lot like Mystery Science Theater. I looked into getting puppets.
That would have been great.
I think it would have been pretty good. There's actually a guy named Doomcock who does a channel. Yeah, he does a channel on YouTube. It's called Doomcock, and he's got like this Cthulhu puppet that he talks to, and he wears this big giant Dr. Doom mask. Envy Life, thank you very much. This has been a really great night. Everybody, you've made my week. I can't even begin to tell you. You don't even understand how much tonight really means to me. But it could not have come at a better time. Let me tell you that. So yeah, I thought about doing puppets at first, and you know what? If any of you television networks out there want to dump a lot of money on me, I will create such a show for you. I will need a puppet budget. The set would be rather cheap. We don't need to travel. You don't need to hire writers. I do all this by myself. So maybe you need a team of like 2 writers. Give me 2 people and we'll make it happen. Very, very low budget. We'll make it happen. Low budget. Puppets. Puppet reenactments of UFO abductions. I swear to God, if I turn
Gross
on
alien pancakes.
if I find out somebody's cable channels comes up with that idea, we're going to court. We're going to court. The creepy bookies. It sounds like a band, nation state. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the creepy bookies. Or a horse. Papa's mustache in second. Creepy bookie in the third. All right. So let's go ahead and look at these questions here. I wanted to give them a minute to kind of build up, see what we got. Some talk about a puppy. No, I don't have a puppy. Chewing cigars is better than smoking them. Slamming wagon. I think it's a reference to the van. What kind of puppy? Pound puppy. Old bread van. Creepy command center. Oh, old bread van. That's like rough. We still got a lot of those driving around Philly.
I think the majority of the vans that we have in Iowa are those.
The fake alien event described in fiction. Enki Bibble or Belial. See the movie Immortal. It's connected. Fake alien event. Blue beam. That's something that's always interesting. Okay, here we go. Here's a question I can actually answer because it's an actual question. What are your thoughts on the pineal gland? All right. The pineal gland. I think the pineal
one.
Yeah, I think the pineal gland. A lot of what I think about the pineal gland was really influenced by the work of Bill Donahue and his channel Hidden Meanings that I try to recommend as often as it pops into my head. He's done a lot of stuff on the pineal gland and how it is the seat of the soul and how a lot of Bible passages in his interpretation direct people to contact their pineal gland to get in touch with that part of them that is the doorway to God, essentially. I think it's an interesting that we see the pine cone represented so much in ancient art. Were these people aware of the pineal gland? Obviously the ancient Egyptians had a very good sense of anatomy. Like, the Greeks didn't believe in dissecting bodies after death, but the Egyptians did. And that's why Alexandria was a place where they could study human biology extensively. So if you were an ancient Greek and you wanted to learn anatomy firsthand, you had to travel to Egypt to do it. So, I mean, obviously, these ancient civilizations would have known about the existence of the pineal gland, and perhaps we'll never know what its true function was. You know, who knows if our world is engineered to cause that to be calcified, to be dormant. You know, I don't know. What do you think, Jen?
Um, I like the idea of it being something, but I don't know if that equals it being something, if that makes sense. I would like to imagine that, you know, you can use it to gain access to all this like powers, and I like the idea that it's in our past and that maybe the pine cone was something. I kind of a pessimist. I don't necessarily think it's true.
Well, it definitely does relate to melatonin production.
Yeah.
So that's something interesting because melatonin is kind of what helps us fall asleep. It's actually produced in darkness. So, you know, if you're sleeping with your TV on, you're reducing the amount of melatonin you're producing.
There's a book that I read a while ago, a couple years ago, that was talking about how the blue lights that we absorb, they mess up your sleep schedule, and just how we're supposed to be sleeping in a different realm and all that stuff. It was interesting.
Let's see.
My coffee is wearing down.
See, okay. Like I was telling your husband beforehand, you got to get that thermos. That's the way to do it. I'll tell you what, everybody, get yourself an old timey thermos. It is totally worth it.
I'm such a like I never stay up past like 9 or 10.
Oh, well, what are you doing? This has got to be torture.
My mind's starting to turn off a little bit, but I'll wiggle it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're coming up on some time here anyway.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was on Reddit because
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. That guy was just talking about he had dated a girl who was from, I think, Romania, and they were looking up at the moon, and he's like, oh, it looks so beautiful, and she's like, it sucks that it's fake. And she was raised to believe that it was like a mirror.
Right.
And I've never heard that theory.
Yeah, I've never heard that either. I mean, I've heard, of course, holographic moon.
Yeah.
Derelict alien spaceship, active alien spaceship. You know, I've heard all that good stuff.
Another planet. Yeah.
That mirror stuff, I'm gonna write that down because I want to look that up.
He was specific about saying it was from Romania.
Romania and the mirror moon. You know, I miss Frank Sinatra style music. I really wish that would make a comeback.
Me
Again,
too.
but I also wish we all wore suits and dresses and had class like it was the 30s. You know, without all the institutionalized oppression. That's a downside. But I mean, other than that, the style, the class, the elegance, the finesse.
Or can we go into the future where everybody wears just the suit?
The Star Trek space suit.
That'd be awesome.
Not until I lose about 25 pounds.
But by then we should have the pills that make us all skinny.
We have pills like that now. It makes people so skinny they live underneath the elevated train and they take that medicine all the time. They can't stop until they're dead. They love it. Those people love their skinny medicine. It makes them so skinny to death.
So skinny that their teeth fall out.
Okay, what else we got here? Creepin' Pete and the Creepsters. That reminds me of like a psychobilly band, like you know. I think there's a little Stray Cat stuff going on there. Envy Life, thank you. Yes, and I'll tell you, I really appreciate that because Creepy Little Book is entirely fan funded. I don't take and that's my pledge to you. Like I said, when they came after my stuff and started demonetizing me, I was going to demonetize the whole channel because I'm not going to have the sword of Damocles hanging over me where I'm afraid to make content because I'm afraid to lose money from ads. If I just pitch that whole thing out, I don't have to worry about it. And that's how you know I'm not funded by the Illuminati. No Illuminati money coming in here because if I did, I wouldn't live in this top. Would not be living here.
Illuminati shows up on your doorstep. Would you join?
No, there's probably a lot of butt play and weird brandings. I don't join groups. I don't join clubs. That's not happening. Like, no. You know what? I wouldn't, like, my friends golf. Like, I wouldn't get up to go golf. You know? Like, I'm not gonna join the Illuminati. Like, that's like it, dude. Like, that's when it's like you gotta look in a mirror every day and be like, I'm an Illuminati piece of shit. Like, that's who I am. And I mean, you know,
Total nonconformist through and through.
yeah, it's like, look, I really like, look, it's nice because creepy little book takes a lot of time. I mean, I did 2 live streams this week. One with a channel called Understanding Conspiracy, young guy out of the UK. We did about an hour conversation on Wednesday, I believe. Friday, I did an hour with Trad Cat Knight on his channel. I put up a video on Tuesday. I put up a video on Friday. We do a live stream today. This is what I do. Like, normal people sit down, they watch a movie. You know, they go out to eat. Like, this is everything I do when I'm not at my job. This is it. So, like, to be able to pull some financial compensation out of that for the time, it means a whole lot, and I appreciate that this is entirely funded by the audience and by the viewers in the community. Tina, another $50 from Redbeard. Thank you. Jesus Christ, Redbeard, are you crazy? What are you doing? Oh my God. Melatonin makes kids just shut the fuck up and get the fucked up sleep.
There were a couple daycare workers that said the exact same thing. They got fired.
Yeah, I think, where did that happen?
Like Kansas City or something.
Yeah, here you go, kids. Take your melatonin gummies and go to bed. I could see if they had asked the parents first.
Yeah.
Yeah, Redbeard, you're out of control, man. No, you know what? Deck, don't ever try to imagine me golfing. Like, I've been to the driving range, like, I'd say a handful of times over the past 15 years. You know, it's one thing to stand around just smashing balls as hard as you can. Just smash them balls. But it's another thing entirely to be like, oh, I'm walking around in the sun. Oh, there's bugs out here. Like, I'm not I wouldn't make the best survivalist. I mean, that's why I'm all about the bunker life, you know. Why take your chances when you could just seal up the vault? You know what I mean? You know, eventually you got to come out, but hopefully they fix that by then. Los Brooklyn, thank you very much. Damn, the other 2 zeros are missing. LOL. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, what do we got here? Let me keep going. I'm down Pound Town. Let me see. What the fuck? Butt play, Pete? Yeah, Trapper. There's the Illuminati. I'm sure you got to go through a fair amount of butt play before you're allowed in. That way they got the goods on you.
Yeah, they tape you.
They got the goods on you. Before you know it, they're like, I got you on tape doing all kinds of butt stuff. You don't want none of that. No, I'll tell you what. I take the melatonin, Tina. I take a dose of that every night. Get me to sleep.
Me too.
Take that. I take all kinds of shit. I'm taking all kinds of stuff over here. I'm all hopped up on goofballs. Melatonin should only be taken after 50 years old. My insides are actually 63. The outside looks younger because it's all pickled in alcohol. That's what happens. I spent a good 20 years pickling my insides so that when I quit drinking, I was ahead of the game. So that's why I've been 2 years sober, but 20 years down, pickled dude, like a gherkin all the way through. Like your number one gherkin. And if you take that Robusto, you'll be tying that gherkin in a knot. Super male Robusto. Okay, I'm trying to keep up with some questions here in chat. My mind is all over the place. Somebody said Philly. Yeah, I'm in Philly. God damn it. Oh, it's a shame. It really is. Jesus Christ, what's going on here? Again? Dude, Redbeard, what are you doing? Another $50 from Redbeard.
He likes hearing his name.
That's pretty expensive for hearing your name, dude.
He really likes hearing his name.
I mean, I'm telling you. Damn, bro. Damn, bro. That's out of hand, man. That's out of hand. Redbeard robbed a bank earlier today. That's what Tina's saying. Trapper Snap, $100. Can't let Redbeard outdo me. Oh my God. I can hear my wife in the other room listening to the stream saying, oh my God. And that's through the headphones at a closed door. Oh my God, this is out of control. Guys, I think I got a cold sweat going here. I'm gonna have a heart attack tonight, you bastards. I'm gonna need this for the emergency room bill. Oh my God.
It's for the creepy van.
Oh my God. You guys, thank you so much. It's just insane. It's just really out of control. Wow. I'll tell you what, you bastards, if I start getting misty, I'm shutting this stream down. You'll never catch me. Have I ever seen a UFO in Philly? I thought I did. I filmed a video of it, and this was 2 months ago. Like, I was at the street corner in like University City area. I was waiting across the street. There was a construction crew working. I saw this big light in the sky. And it was green and it was twinkling. And I'm like, that can't be a star, you know? And this is out. That's okay. Finish that later. But yeah, there was this, no, it wasn't Frankfurt. I don't really go there much. No, it was in a University City area, and I saw this green light, and I was like, what the hell was that? And I took video of it. And then after the next couple nights, when I was at that corner again, going where I was going, I kept seeing it there. So I was like, that's obviously not a UFO. I stood there like an idiot and filmed a star for for 5 minutes. You know what, UFOlogy? Yeah, I'll send it to you. Just do me a favor. Shoot me an email at creepylittlebook@gmail.com just so I can reply directly to you with the video.
I always hope to see a UFO. We can see, since we don't live in the city, we can see all these different stars. And every time I go outside and it's nighttime, nothing. Everything's where it's supposed to be. Nothing's any different.
Yeah, it's hold on a second here. Since it was brought up again, this is Athena Luttrell. Since it was brought up again, Creepy Little Book should have a creepy bus instead of a van. I would prefer kind of a bus kind of situation. That would be bad. Like a sweet tour bus like a band would have.
No, you got to get one of those like old school buses and redo the complete inside.
Let's see. Be More in Your Mouth says, you guys think this isn't a joke? I used to believe into your discoveries, but now I know this is a way to get paid. This is a lot of work, man. This is a lot of work. So I'm not going to turn down any donation I receive freely from people who give it. So there you go. Have a good night. South Philly Grace Ferry Bridge. South Philly, I haven't been to Grace Ferry in probably 20 years. I think last time I was down there, we played a punk rock show. I don't even remember where that was. I used to have a buddy who had an apartment down there for a while too. But I haven't talked to him in 20 years either. Darren Fowler. Yeah, that's That's a pretty good sentiment. I think that we're probably right there. Thank you, Tina. Hey, look, I'll tell you what, I will never lie to anybody. Look, it is nice to be able to get financial compensation out of this work. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm a capitalist. Like, I don't do this particularly with money in mind. It's a lot of work. I did it for 2 years before I ever made my first 2 years on YouTube, I made 44 cents. Okay. So like if this was just about making money, nobody would have kept doing it as long as I've been doing it. This has been an exceptional evening. I appreciate you all very much, but like I'm not going to say that there's no money aspect involved in this. If I did, I'd be a liar. I'd rather say, hey, making money's nice. And people be like, you're a douchebag, than me lie to you and pretend that I'm above making money off of this. Like, this is a lot of freaking work. And the fact of the matter is, the goal is to be able to walk away from the 9-to-5 work world and be able to do stuff like this full time. Because in the world we live in, sometimes people are born with a calling, and the gatekeepers built up around those industries or that career makes it impossible for a regular person to get into. No TV channel would ever have given the creepy little book a green light. This stuff wouldn't exist if I had to go through television gatekeepers. It just wouldn't. So the fact of the matter is that since we can do stuff like this online, you find something that you feel you're good at. I think that I'm pretty decent at this. I mean, I'm probably not the best, but I don't hide behind a cartoon character. I don't use a robot voice to speak for me. I come here live and I speak from the cuff, and we do this for like an hour. Like it's and the initial investment, to get a camera, to get a new computer, to buy the software to edit, like that was no like small chunk of change. I did this all on faith that one day people would notice and people would care. And I will never apologize for any profit that comes this way out of this work, because it is work. I know people like to think that YouTube's a matter of just turning on a camera and going, but maybe it is for some people, and more power to them. But this type of subject matter requires lots of research. Jen, you just went through the whole freaking Stranger at the Pentagon book. Which
is short, but I did watch a lot of YouTube videos afterwards.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Like,
it's a lot. It's a lot to go through.
And just as a fan, I can say you treat the people, your viewers, much better than a lot of other YouTubers do. And that's how I came to know you, as being a fan.
Like, and see, that's I kind of, like I said, I shy away from that word because I don't feel like I'm anybody special. I've had people say to me, like, just responding to them, that like, oh my God, they never thought I'd answer. I'm like, I'm not one of these guys. Even if I had 100,000 subscribers and I was getting 20,000 comments a video, I would spend a couple hours a day, at least in the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, trying to answer comments. Which I haven't done so much lately because I've been working on other things. But I do try to interact with people, and I do try to, remember that there's no difference except we're on different sides of the freaking screen, because when I'm not doing this, I'm watching other people who have far bigger channels than I do, people who have smaller channels than I do. I watch a lot of varied content, and most of it isn't really about this stuff. So, I just appreciate everybody a lot, because, it's like these celebrities, like, I love my fans. But look, I'm not, like I said, especially because I don't take ad revenue. I don't have sponsors. It is all you guys. Like, that's what makes it happen, That's it. And I'll tell you what, in good news, I have just finished the 67th page of my book. So we are moving along nicely there. 67 pages in. We'll see. Initially, I was going to kind of cut it around 100 or so pages, 120, 150. But now I think I'm going to push a little farther, because we got through those 67 pages pretty quick. I kind of scrapped working on the fiction story for a while. I'm working on the reference book. It'll be called Creepy Little Book Volume 1. And it'll contain expanded information on a selection of topics that I've covered since the beginning of this channel. And it'll be broken down into different sections that address either the extraterrestrial topic or the ancient world, stuff like that. But I said to myself, why isn't there anything where I can open up a book, go through an index, and find information on something? And I was like, well, why don't I just make that? So that's what it's going to be. And I'd love to do it leather bound. I'd love to do 1,000 copies leather bound. And oh man, make it real nice. Yeah. I don't know when or where the book will be published. It may be self-published. I was just looking into somebody who does leather binding, but that's not cheap. So I might even, when the time comes, I might do a Kickstarter to raise half the money for the leather binding, and then I'd put out the other half myself. And obviously, anybody who contributed to the Kickstarter would get a copy of the leather bound book. So yeah, 67 pages in. So we'll see. We're going to see about moving it forward. Darren Fowler, let's talk CERN. CERN. Yes, let's talk about CERN. CERN, Large Hadron Collider. It is located on the border of Switzerland and France. It is, I believe, 3 miles down. 3 miles down. It is 600 feet down at its deepest, I believe. A lot of people believe that CERN was developed to open gateways and portals. And that...
I've specifically heard hell.
Hell. I don't know why anybody would want to open a portal to hell, but that seems to be the common belief among a segment of the conspiracy community. Everybody, I'm sorry, Jen, can you take over for a minute? I just need a moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I know of CERN because of the videos that they've been putting out. Well, not the videos that they've been putting out, the secret video that they put out. It was the satanic sacrifice or something like that, where it was basically, it sounds like it was a prank that they taped and they put out. I know that CERN has the Shiva statue, and a lot of people view that as being like a demonic entity. I'm trying to think. There were also a lot of weird things with CERN, and that they said that for different reasons that the machine, the Hydro Collider, just kind of stopped working. And one of the reasons was that a bird dropped a baguette in there and it completely cut everything off. I'm trying to think of what else I know. That is pretty much all I know. I'm sorry. Trying to think as I'm looking. CERN is not my expertise, as you can tell, but I'm going to try and keep the ball rolling. I'm totally failing right now. Where's Pete when we need him? Well, just because we were talking about it. He started off with the Macho Man Randy Savage impression. One of my favorite theories is that Macho Man Randy Savage did not get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame for a really long time until he died, because he had an affair with Stephanie McMahon.
Thank you so much.
I totally blanked that.
That's okay. That's okay. I have had far too much coffee. I had to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry. I had to. I was gonna pop.
So I went over the baguette thing. A bird dropped a baguette and turned everything off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember hearing about that. That was a while back. The baguette.
Yeah, and then the Shiva, and then the weird sacrificial video.
Yes, Darren, peeing. All right, so let's start it up. There goes Redbeard, you crazy man.
He needs more coffee.
All right. What? Redbeard dropped another $100 and said, F you, Trapper Snap. Redbeard, you are insane. Jesus Christ.
Redbeard doesn't like to lose.
Jesus Christmas, man. What are you doing with what is going on here? Stop. You gotta stop. Oh, all right. Trapper snap. Oh my god. This is insane. You guys are insane. Trapper snap, thank you. Redbeard. Oh my god. What are you guys doing? All right, so that was another 100 from Redbeard and then another 100 from Trapper Snap. Thank you.
So you're taking the wife out to a very nice dinner.
Oh man. Satan Makes Three is asking if Jen has a YouTube channel.
I do actually want to start one.
You should. You should have a channel. I'd watch that shit.
I like wrestling. I would probably talk about wrestling.
Oh my god, my brother is like the biggest wrestling fan in the world. Like ever since he was a kid, and that's like really my entry point into wrestling was his love of the stuff. I wish I followed it more closely. I did see a clip on YouTube of Vince McMahon, who's looking very old these days.
Oh yeah, he's gonna go soon.
His eyes are perpetually red. And he was talking about Roman Reigns has been suspended. I don't know who Roman Reigns is, but he must have been the guy who walked out of the office before McMahon came out.
Yeah, so Vince McMahon. All you need to know about Roman Reigns is he is basically who they want to be the new John Cena, but nobody likes him.
Well, nobody liked John Cena when he first showed up either.
Oh, but it's different. There's not even like that half that's like, go Roman Reigns. Nobody likes him.
Let me get back to this CERN thing because I kind of cut it short. TD Gaming mentions the Goddard Tunnel ceremony. I think most of us have probably seen that weird video with the Goddard Tunnel where they got all these people in these strange pagan costumes and they're dancing and stuff, and it looks like a satanic ritual. Saturn and CERN. That Princess Parabanu. I hope I'm saying that right. Parabanu. I kind of like the way that sounds. Says that the demons are locked in Saturn and CERN wants to connect with them. And that would kind of fit in line with the David Icke theory of the Saturn moon matrix. And the idea that there are signals being broadcast from Saturn, that the moon is a receiver for them and they're beaming them down to us. That ties also into the reptilian conspiracy. Night Maestro says there's nothing special about CERN. I think I don't know what the deal with CERN is. That's a lot of money to spend to build a nothing kind of thing. I think that sometimes some science doesn't really seem to matter to like the real world, and the kind of science that goes on at CERN, at least what they say is going on, just doesn't seem to matter. Like I don't really give a shit how much the weight of an atom's nuts are. Like doesn't matter to me. Like so I guess like I mean if they were to turn around tomorrow and be like, we've got time travel, we can go back 2 weeks at a time. That would be one thing, but I don't know if they're really accomplishing much down there. Anything that makes the world better. UFO Paradigm says the IRS is watching. The IRS is always watching. Night Maestro says Jen Hart. Sangi says make a channel, do it. Yeah, Jen, you should just make a channel, do a wrestling channel. We'll watch that stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of wrestling fans in here. WWE is WWF. Yes, this is true.
Yes, it is.
Make station wagons great again. Pete, you need a bowler derby. You know what? Make station wagons great again. I used to wear a bowler derby back when I was a kid. Like when I was like a teen, like a late teen, I used to wear a bowler derby. And like as a punk rock dude, like I had a little bowler derby. I flattened down my mohawk and put on my bowler derby because I was really into Clockwork Orange. So yeah, I did used to wear a bowler derby.
I have a station wagon.
Make station wagons great again. I'd love
Yeah.
to see a modern version of a station wagon with the wooden panels and everything.
Right?
Probably look really nice. Did you see the new Volkswagen bus?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, check that thing out. It's got so many options for how to configure the seats inside the bus. It's pretty amazing. And the steering wheel is like, it really looks like the steering wheel of a spaceship almost. And I think you can push it recessed into the dashboard. So like, yeah, it's something else. Yeah, Tina, Woody, like in those old Gidget movies. Quick fact about Pete. Pete loves Gidget. I don't understand why Gidget in the movies was like a famous singer who everybody knew, but Gidget in the TV show is just like a regular teen. Yeah, but like Gidget goes to Hawaii and shit. Good stuff. CERN sits atop an ancient Roman site dedicated to Apollyon. I could believe that, Paul. I could absolutely believe that.
Hi, Scott Bearden. I hope I said that right.
Oh, wait, you can see the chat now?
I can see the chat now.
Okay. Hey, Scott, how you doing? What's going on? Scott Bearden. I see there, Tina. How you doing, Scott Bearden? What's going on, my man? Miguel Mesa, hello.
I just want to say Tina's great.
Yeah, Tina, we really appreciate you around here. You do a great job. Oh, and Pete, how you doing, Pete? Scott Darter. Hey, Jeffrey. So where are we at? Still good to go, Jen?
I'm still good to go.
Okay. Let me know at any point you're ready to cut out. Just let me know. I don't feel obligated to stick around because I'll probably go for a while. But I'm glad to have you as long as you're willing to stay.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay. So we talked about CERN, talked about Valiant Thor, talked
The
about
Nazi
some
conspiracy.
Nazis in Antarctica. I better say not say that word too many times or I'll get my channel dinged.
Oh,
Yeah, but I really think you should start a wrestling channel. I would totally watch that. You know, my brother was telling me about these two wrestlers. They're like a tag team in what's that other wrestling league called? Is it TNA or TNT?
there's Ring of Honor. There's Impact now. TNA turned into Impact.
Okay, Redbeard, you will get those pictures.
What pictures is he asking for?
Well, he wants pics of the nice dinner I take my wife out to. TNA, yeah. So in TNA, there's this tag team. I guess they're like high flying, flipping dudes, but like they don't really look like they don't even try to look like they're fighting. They just kind of go out there and do acrobatics. I don't know who these guys are. I have no idea. I don't know what their names are, but they're really popular.
Would it be the Young Bucks?
I think that's it. The Young Bucks, and they just kind of like you can tell they're not even trying to pretend they're fighting. They're just kind of flipping around.
So I recommend you watch either Ring of Honor or New Japan Pro Wrestling.
My brother just went to Ring of Honor. I think it was just here in Philly.
Oh, so jealous.
I feel like they're in Philly pretty often. There's a lot of wrestling that goes on here. Well, I mean, you know, Philly's the hometown of the old
I think they're big.
ECW.
Yeah.
God, that was the best, man. Back when that was new.
You should watch something called Being the Elite, which is the Young Bucks and the Bullet Club. It's their like storylines.
Okay. Peter Hades 313 wants to know what your favorite conspiracy theory is, Jen.
Montauk.
Montauk Project. Peter, I did one of my favorite videos I did was about the Montauk Project. I highly recommend that one. Such a bizarre story. I love it. It's like such a combination of so many weird things.
Lately, it's been Bigfoot stuff. The idea that like Bigfoots are either prisoners that like the Greys or whatever use as like a prison workforce almost is what I've been hearing. Or just like the time traveling Bigfoots, the phasing out Bigfoots.
I think they're trolls. I think they're like trolls from mythology, honestly.
I hope so.
That's what I think they are. I don't think they're like aliens. I don't think they're like monkey men. I think that they are the trolls of mythology. And I think that's why they're impossible to catch, impossible to see, and why you don't find their skeletons or bones or their corpses. I can believe that. I've talked to some ghost hunters that have been very adamant that stuff like leprechauns and elves and gnomes all exist, that these are basically elemental spirits, that, human beings are physical. They're physical and spiritual beings, but that there are beings that are purely spiritual, and those beings of fantasy and of mythology fit that description. Like never having been alive, but still like a spirit in existence.
I like a lot of the Fae folk stuff too.
Yeah, I think that fits all in with that. Paul says, talk about dark matter and how it affects a person's mood and psyche. I really don't know enough to speak to that, to be honest. But
I've never heard that before, but I like that. I like that.
like that. I'm going to make a note about that right here with the other stuff I've got written down. Dark matter.
Jeffrey Stewart says time travel not for 3D humans.
Yeah, the idea that it has to happen just purely mentally or something. I don't know how that works.
You can buy a time travel device in the back of a newspaper for $29.99.
Oh, is that from
Mr. Redbeard?
You need crystals to run those things, I believe.
Yes, you do.
You got to have the right crystals. I actually found out there's a crystal shop over the bridge in Jersey, and it's like Gem World or something. I was like, oh, I got to go over there. I got to check it out. I got to see what's up with the crystals. Actually, I'd like to get a nice geode. Like I guess that's a nerdy thing to say. I don't know, but I'd like to get a nice geode. I think that would look cool. I'd love to have a shelf with like fossils and stuff on it, fossils and mineral samples and such.
Yes.
I can't wait to move the hell out of here. I'll tell you what, my intention after we get out of this place is I'm going to have a room. We're like, this is a corner of a room right here. This is not a set. Some people, I guess, they see the channel and they assume that this is probably set up somewhere to look like it's the corner of a room. No, it is. It's the corner of a room. But I'd love to have a room set up where that each corner was kind of a little different, and we could film in 4 different corners and against 4 different walls and have a different kind of look going on around each. Oh, I'm telling you, once I really get the chance to dump some design into the whole process, I'd love to get a chalkboard. Let me tell you what, I would love to be able to stand there against a big wall, do a nice wide shot, and do a bunch of chalkboard, kind of stuff.
The priest that you recommended. Oh, what's his name?
Yeah, Fulton Sheen.
Yes.
Yeah. That's kind of where I got the idea. I was like, yo, chalkboard.
No, that's a great one. That's a great idea.
Let me tell you how hard it is to find a chalkboard these days, because they all use whiteboards now.
They have the chalkboard paint.
Yeah, that's not the same. I want to get a real chalkboard. We'll see. I got to look into it. Sangi says, talk about the golden ratio. I'll tell you about the golden ratio. I have a transparency of the golden ratio. And whenever I make a thumbnail for the YouTube channel, I throw it over I throw the transparency of the golden ratio over it. And I try to configure the thumbnail to conform to the golden ratio. Golden ratio, for those of you who don't know, is the Fibonacci spiral. It's something that occurs a lot in nature. A snail shell the way a flower unfolds, all kinds of stuff. It is it's probably the closest thing you can get to perfection.
I really wish that if we took better care of our Mother Earth, like Princess is saying, that the spiritual beings would come back. That'd be awesome.
Okay, what else we got here? Black goo, programmable matter. I did a video on the green goo, and I'm familiar with the gray goo. And I know that I think it's Venezuela where they have the black goo that comes out of the ground. But I think they call it La Mancha Negra, and that's not exactly the same as the programmable matter that is black goo. But again, I love this because I'm just taking notes of stuff I want to keep looking into. Okay, let me write this down. Black goo. All right. Tomorrow's Manly P. Hall's birthday, says Los Brooklyn. You know what? I have yet to do a video on Manly P. Hall. I've listened to lots of his lectures, and I've ordered items from the Philosophical Research Society that he founded out in California. Yeah, so that is not a bad idea. I would really like to do a video about Manly P. Hall, and I don't even think I have him on my list for some reason. Put that down here. Manly P. Hall. He's like a real life wizard kind of dude.
When do you think that we're going to land on Mars? I can't remember who asked, but when do you think that we're going to have people on Mars?
I'd say by 2035. I think it'll take that long. I think we're looking at another.
Do you think it's going to be NASA or SpaceX or somewhere else?
I think it'll be a partnership between NASA and some private company. I think that's what we'll see. I don't think that they'll ever really fund NASA the way they did during the space race, unless it becomes clear that some other country might make it to Mars first. Like the U.S. isn't going to let the Russians beat them to Mars. So unless we see another country take interest in getting there first, I don't think that the U.S. is going to take much interest. We'll see, though. I think 2035 is a fair assessment. You know, they want to say by 2024, give it another 10 years, 2035, 2040. I don't think there's a lot of, if there isn't money to be made, what's the point? You know, like, it's not like going to the moon was a matter of national pride. Going to Mars, I don't think it's the same case. I think that there needs to be kind of the promise of resources.
Have you heard of a book called What If We're Wrong? It's by Chuck Klosterman.
No, I'm not familiar.
So it's basically like, what if everything we know now, science-wise, religion-wise, is completely wrong? And he goes over the past and how when people in the 40s guessed what people 100 years from now are going to be doing, they didn't think that it was going to be like, that we weren't going to reach the moon. And then there were other people that thought that we would be living on the moon. And it's basically going over what actually happened compared to what people thought. And he's like, for all the scientists that went over and said, no, we're not gonna land on the moon for a really long time. It was specifically the fact that another country wanted to do it.
Yeah,
and that's what they take into consideration. And then, you know, cell phones and stuff like that. Nobody had any idea that that was even a possibility.
Hold on. Now, because chat is far ahead of where I am right now. So
and it's going so fast.
I'm seeing people saying finally. So Trapper Snap and Darren are both saying finally. Is that about the chalkboard? I don't know what that's about. Pine cones. Black chalkboard if I could get it. Green I'll settle for. How big?
Green.
I want it pretty big, to Timothy. I want it pretty big. David Flynn's book, R.E. Isaac Newton.
They'll probably send robots before humans.
Or was it finally over Manly P. Hall? I don't know. I'm trying to get there. All right. I'm just going to fast forward here. Let's see. The they'll probably send robots before humans. I totally agree with that. They probably will send robots before humans.
The golden ratio, that's what he was talking about.
Envy Life, what book? The okay. I'm just gonna go to the beginning of chat again. If I missed anything that you said, because I'm gonna pick up right here from where UFOlogy just put tweed jacket. Okay, so anything after here is where we're going. Tweed jacket, Pete. I want a tweed jacket with the leather patches. I would totally do that. Nikolai Tesla. I've got an interesting book on Tesla. It's like his autobiography about how he would do blueprints in his mind before he'd ever actually build anything. Paul goes to Manly P. Hall every Friday. Nice. A YouTuber, Beltane Cottage, practices goddess permaculture in Ireland and has a new fairy hole. That's I think
have
that's
to look into that.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that name down.
That is a good find.
Beltane Cottage, Cottage. LOL Doctor Who shit. You've already got a cardigan. I love cardigan strapper. I love it. Yeah. Thank you, Tina. I think I could pull off the tweed jacket. Get KJ on your show. I'm not sure who KJ is.
Mr. Pete's neighborhood.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't like the people in my neighborhood. I don't think you'd like them. Yeah, I think they've already sent robots to space. Get Styx Hexenhammer on my show. I'd love to get Styx on my show, but I don't think my schedule and his would work together until I don't live here. KJ Osborne from The Scariest Movie Ever. You know what? I've caught his channel a couple times. I'm not really familiar with his work, but now that you've reminded me of it, I'm going to go look at it. Let's see. Yeah, I'd love to have Styx on, but I don't think, I think Styx is more of a 6 p.m., 7 p.m. kind of guy, not so much a midnight kind of guy. And I've got a screaming baby who's wide awake at that time, so it doesn't really work. That's why you don't see me stream earlier, because I was so hyped to stream. I would have streamed this afternoon. I would have come back and streamed again tonight. Like, I'd love to do this more often. Legitimately, my hope is after we move, which comes closer every day, that I will be able. Yeah, I live in a shit neighborhood, Redbeard. Last night I was sitting here and I heard, like, I seriously thought somebody was out front just shooting. It was like pop, 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 pop. And I raced towards the back bedroom to just cover up the baby and pull Amy out of bed, because it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
You should try and be on the Tinfoil Hat podcast. Have you heard of?
No, I'm gonna write that down.
They have a lot of people, including the Higher Side Chats. They have him on all the time.
I'll tell you what, Greg Carlwood is one of the most down-to-earth, awesome guys. He's one of the first people I had the chance to interview when I started doing this channel. And he is just a great dude. Yeah, but I'd love to have Styx on. Maybe in the summertime. Who knows? I'm definitely going to approach him eventually and see if he'd like to come on. I feel like I started watching Styx a couple years back because of his occult videos. And now he does a lot of political stuff, but I feel like nobody really gets him on to talk about the occult, and I'd like to do that. Oh, Tina, that's not good. It's not good hearing shots. It's a really terrible feeling. Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. Oh, Stranger Than Fiction channel. I think I've seen Stranger Than Fiction. I'm writing all this down because I want to stay on top of this stuff, and you guys have made a lot of good suggestions tonight. Okay. Please read what I wrote above. Let me see. Get sheetrock and paint it with chalkboard paint. You can cut it to any size and then have, like, sorry, let's scroll. 15 chalkboard colors. Would that, you know what? I think that might work because it's sheetrock. I mean, it's going to be hard, or at least hard enough. That's a possibility. I don't know. Well, I'll have to look into it because if I can get an old one, I would do it in a minute. Yeah, I know Sticks Trapper. He does still do occult videos, but it's not like he used to. You know what I mean? Like most of his videos are daily current events and topical analysis. It's not really like before, where most of his videos were entheogens or occult stuff. So,
and he was putting books out like crazy.
I think he's still putting out a fair amount of books, but definitely not what he was for a while there.
For a while there, it felt like it was a book every week, a new one.
Let's see. Try having a gun pointed at you, not once but twice. Yeah, Carl, I've been there too. I got it's Philly. You're going to get mugged in Philly. That's just how it goes. You live here long enough, somebody's going to point a gun at you. That's no good. I was pretty messed up for, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks after that happened. I didn't want to do nothing because it really makes you think. That's impossible. Oh man. Those are 2 different channels. Trace booms, fine landing. The voicemail Facebook military message.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before we started streaming.
Yeah, that translates to, oh man, I know this has something to do with that because you mentioned it. Oh God, this computer sucks. They're not human.
Yeah, it's SOS. Yeah, it's SOS.
I didn't realize that they're not human. Like, so.
Yeah.
So you know what? I always thought aliens got them. I wouldn't doubt it.
I always thought a portal.
I figured it was something like that. Something crazy. Thank you, Tom. You're awesome too. I appreciate it.
It was on Twitter. It wasn't 4chan. And what is it called? The Outer Light? Is that his channel now?
Yeah, Outer Dark and Outer Light, Ed.
Yeah. Ed,
Yeah.
He did a really good video on the Twitter, the voicemail.
I gotta check that out.
You should have him.
You know what? We recorded together twice. And both times it came out wrong. And at that point, it was like we had done, I think, like a 2-hour conversation on a topic that we both, I think had a pretty good talk about. But the audio was so messed up. Like I think that it had his microphone picked up my audio coming through his speakers and echoed it. So everything I say is like echoed. And I tried to edit it and fix it. There was just nothing I could do with it. So we had planned on rescheduling, but I wanted to give him enough time that he didn't, wasn't so, wouldn't have any hard feelings towards me. So I figured I'd leave him alone for a little bit. But yeah, I got to get back in contact with him because I would love to talk about that topic again. But we tried, and we had a really good conversation. I think he's a great guy. But I felt so bad after it didn't work. I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm wasting his time. Not that kind of echo, Sangi. Got to watch out for that echo. Put a curse on your credit score.
Oh my gosh.
That's not nice. I think of that. There's a meme with the count from the Muppets. It's terribly bad taste. Okay. Executive Order 13603. Let me write that down. Because I don't know what that is.
Me either. I haven't heard of that.
Oh, Tina, you talking about the Google Translate, right? That's weird too. That whole Google Translate thing. If you put in certain things, it gives you these weird messages. It's pretty bizarre. Four in your mouth. What the fuck are you doing?
What are you doing?
Man, this is yeah, some people just like to be contrarians. Oh well. Rex 84. Rex 84, thank you, Tina. Rex 84. I believe, did Phil Schneider talk about that, Night Maestro? I have a feeling, or I'm thinking of, maybe I'm thinking of Rhyolite 38 with Phil Schneider, but I got to look into Rex 84. That name sounds so familiar, but I can't remember what it was.
Sesame Street dank memes.
Yeah, like there's some really, really politically incorrect Sesame Street memes.
That's what I'm going to be doing all tomorrow.
Yeah, there's some really, really inappropriate Sesame Street memes. Let me see here. All right, I need this chat to stop moving for a second. Tina, did you ban him from the channel? Feel free to do so.
So Executive Order 16303 promotes martial law across the United States. All rights gone.
Oh, okay. I think I remember some of that. You know what? The thing is, there's just so much to keep up with. It really is. There's so much to keep up with when you do this stuff. So like I got a lot of half notes about things, but I definitely got to look into that a little deeper because that seems like it'd be a great subject for a video. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. I don't like to block people from the channel, but sometimes you got to do it. It's a shame. Sometimes you just got to do it. Some people just want to start trouble. I understand if you're not a fan. Like, you can tell me, hey, screw you. I hate you. I'm not a fan. That's fine. That's well and good. But some people are just like, some people just like, I don't know. If you don't like it, then lump it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what my mom used to say. Like it or lump it.
Jeffrey is completely right. The chat moves so fast here.
Yeah, it is moving pretty fast. I could put it on slow mode, but then it would probably go too slow. Then it'd be creeping along. It would be here for hours. I like that, Los Brooklyn. If they mess up the flow, they gotta go. Have I ever done a video on the occult symbolism about Hoover Dam? Yeah, I did a video about Hoover Dam. Let me see who that's from. I'm sorry. This stupid computer is playing games with my mind. Okay, so that is from Paul. Paul, yes, I did a video on the Hoover Dam and the proposed idea that there's a Stargate beneath it. Also, there is a lot of occult symbolism on Hoover Dam. There's a star chart that doesn't show the stars from the Earth, but actually shows the Earth from a position of 32 light years away. And there's these weird guardian statues of like angels. It's pretty bizarre. So there is a lot of occult symbolism on the dam. There's also that plaque to all the people who died building the dam. Yeah. Yeah, it's something else. Oh, thank you, Tina. There we go. That's the Hoover Dam video.
Tina is so great.
I'm telling you what, she really is. Tina and I talk pretty frequently, like on Facebook, and she's always on top of all this stuff. Like she's a big help, especially with this chat, because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of regulars here. I see a lot of regulars come in all the time. We have a good time. We have some good conversations, and when somebody comes around starting to look for trouble, they're gonna find it, and Tina's gonna give it to them.
She lays down the law.
Do I like the Fallout video game series? I love Fallout 3 was the first Fallout game I ever played. And I loved it. I loved Fallout 3. I probably played through it twice, but I feel like Fallout New Vegas had more replay value than Fallout 3. I really felt like Fallout 3 could only end two different ways. But I like New Vegas a lot. I have not played Fallout 4. I actually avoid videos about Fallout 4 because I don't want anything to be spoiled for me. But
Do you
yeah,
watch the web series that they have on YouTube?
yeah.
I actually really recommend it.
I didn't even know it existed. So that's
It's
something
fantastic.
else for me to look into.
There's like a funny one. I'm blanking what the name is, but then there's like a serious, really awesome one.
I watched a few episodes of the Mortal Kombat web series, but I never finished it.
Me neither.
No, I'd love to see another Mortal Kombat movie. So, like, I don't know why they keep remaking stuff nobody wants to see. Remake Mortal Kombat with like today's technology would look awesome.
I kind of like the crappy technology of the first.
I like the first one, but I would love to see a new one because there's all so many other characters they could add in. You know, you got Ermac, who's a favorite of mine. The robot ninjas, like, I mean, come on, there's so much good stuff they could add in there. Okay, where are we at? Occult symbolism, movie sci-fi disclosure, Thor. For occult symbolism, I highly recommend the book Cinema Symbolism by Robert W. Sullivan III. He has done cinema symbolism and cinema symbolism 1 and 2 really go into the symbology in popular movies, and there's nobody better at it than him. I personally am not someone who buys into the kind of like predictive programming, they hide secrets in movies kind of thing. I think it's possible that some directors like Kubrick might have hidden something in a movie, but I don't think like every movie contains intentional hidden symbolism. Also, I think a lot of times symbolism is reflective of just the art community. Most artists are familiar with occult symbolism because they're weirdo people. I mean, I wanted to be an art school kid. I just didn't have the chops for it. But yeah, like it's something that I think is like part of art. You just come across that kind of symbolism.
We have Peter asking if do you believe that Trump is a part of the deep state, or are people that say he's fighting them right? So is he on?
I think that Trump is a business Republican who got elected despite overwhelming odds and the whole world being against him. I don't think they expected him to win at all. I really think they bought into their own Hillary hype, and they never thought he would win. I think Trump will improve the economy. I think that people will hate him until he's out of office. Look, it's like Bush 2. No matter what conservative or Republican is elected, they're always going to treat him the same way. The same things they say about Trump, they said about Bush. So it's not going to be any different. And it doesn't matter how decent or wholesome the Republican is, they'll hate him for that too. They just hate conservatives. They hate traditionalism, so they hate on Trump. Do I think he's the enemy of the New World Order? No, I think he was a wild card. They didn't expect to win, and he did. I think they're going to do everything they can to use the media to prevent anybody who's a wild card from getting elected again. And I think he'll be good for business, but I don't think he's like going to defeat the New World Order. I think that he'll probably leave the economy in good shape, and whatever Democrat they elect after him in 2024 will ruin it, and we'll be in another recession.
What about Julian Assange?
What about him? He's I don't know. He's not really relevant. I mean, I think his relevance has diminished over the last couple of years. It just doesn't seem to me like he's really making much of an impact. He can release all the stuff he wants.
Do you think he was a puppet, or do you think he was?
I think if he was a puppet, he wouldn't be a prisoner in an embassy for 4 years, you know? So no, I don't know if he's I don't think he's a puppet. I think he's Athena, I'll stay in Pennsylvania. I'm just getting out of Philadelphia. Have I done anything on MK Ultra? Not specifically, but it is something that's on the master list for me to cover. Cinema symbolism.
There is I can't remember what her name is, but there is a body language expert that goes over
Oh,
all.
yeah, they banned her channel, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. She has a website now, but she goes over all the MK Ultra like people that have been interviewed, and she gives her like opinion as to whether or not they're telling the truth. Good stuff.
Jeffrey Stewart, you make a good point. It isn't Republican versus Democrat. It's a battle between light and darkness, and I think that goes for both sides. I don't think that just because somebody's a Democrat means they're like my enemy. I think that there are probably Democrats that are normal. You know, it's not like because you're a Democrat, you're just absolutely crazy. I think a lot of times news shows us extremes. So we see the loudest, most, the loudest voices kind of rise to the top because there are people that are on the right that might be socially liberal. They don't care about gay people. They don't care about abortions, but they do care about the border and they might care about the economy. And I'm sure there's people on the left that, you know, they might be a conservative, a religious Democrat who might be cool with refugees and open borders, but may have a problem with homosexuality because of their religion. So, like, to draw a line between conservative and liberals, I've been guilty of doing it. I've said personally, there's three kinds of liberals: willful idiots, willfully ignorant, useful idiots, and enemies of the state. Like I'm guilty of hyperbole. I'm guilty of kind of putting people in categories like that. But I mean, if we're going to be completely objective, there's good people on both sides. But I think that there are people that want to drag civilization down into a pit of do what thou wilt, anything goes. And I think there's people that want to preserve traditions and traditional morality and traditional society as well. So, you know, it's like I voted for candidates on both sides of the aisle. And I'm not going to be beholden to a different to a specific political party. Like you have to vote your conscience, and a lot of times you have to vote the lesser of two evils. And for everything they say terrible about Trump, I think that a lot of it is obviously exaggerated, and some people just can't get over the fact that he won, and they can't let it go, and it's got them really, really triggered. You know, even people I knew that hated Obama got over it in like a month or two. You know. Like they still hated him, but they weren't like out. You know, I didn't know people that were Tea Partying. You know what I mean?
I thought that Trump was a really interesting candidate, just having Pence with him. In the Midwest, you talk about the politics and stuff, and a lot of the people wanted to vote for Hillary, but because of the abortion subject, they voted for Trump.
Yeah, people. I don't know. Like, it's a shame. It's a shame that everything's so polarizing, but you know, everything's going to be polarized. Oh, okay, Sergio. Hey, so Pete, here's one question that's been bothering me about you. You've done all this research and have a fine across skirt of the alien and Bible stuff. So, do you believe? God darn it. Do you believe in Christianity or I will say this, when I started this channel, I didn't believe in much of anything. My research into this stuff has actually given me more of a Christian perspective than an atheist one than I had when I started. So yeah, I would say at this point, I mean, I'm not about to turn the channel into this whole kind of Christian evangelization kind of thing, but yeah, I would say at this point that I've found my way back to faith, you know, because of several reasons. I think parenthood changes you.
Mm-hmm.
I think sobriety kind of changes you. And yeah, I definitely say that yeah, I would consider myself Christian at this point. But yeah.
Darren, I was specifically talking about people that in my area, there are a lot of, because he said, I don't think that abortion was even a factor this time. It was for a lot of people in my general area.
Abortion's a big thing with a lot of people. Like, I have never been a big fan of the whole idea. Like, I understand how it's such a mess of legality now. It's kind of like really difficult to figure out a way out of it. But I mean, it shouldn't be encouraged. I think that it's not my. I can't impose my religion over people's decisions in that regard, or I don't. Nobody can. But I think that it's something that should be last resort rather than first reaction.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The Midwest is really, really different. I used to live on the West Coast in Washington, and it's bizarre coming here and then going down the highway and seeing like fetuses telling you not to get abortions.
I think that's a little much for me,
Yes.
But yeah, I don't think it's a great thing. I don't think I think it's reflective of a society that's sick.
Yeah.
It's really a reflection on our moral compass as a people. And again, like you used to have like orphanages, and orphanages used to be run by churches, and not so much by the state. And whether or not that's a better or bad system, there's a lot of things we used to have that I'm sure there's still orphanages, but they try to get these kids into the foster system, which doesn't really seem like a good place either. I don't know. I almost feel like a lot has to change.
I always feel like because I've given birth and had kids, like that I don't feel like I should give an opinion as to whether or not somebody can or cannot get an abortion.
I guess for me, it's like I would not personally resort to that if in our situation, but I can't say, okay, is this somebody who's completely secular, atheistic, whatever their belief system is? Like, you got the freedom to do what you want to do in this society, and it's within the bounds of the law. So, like, yeah, you can go do it, but I'd rather see an option where people could maybe be counseled to consider other options.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily. It's a lot of people. Like think about the movement that sprung up after 17 kids got shot in a school. They abort 3,000 kids a day. That's a lot of people. Like, so it's always going to be a contentious topic, and I think it's a decision that everybody has to make for themselves. You know what? And Darren brings up a good point, to keep your laws off my body. And people will make that argument about the drug war too. I think that, you can't really legislate that. I think you can't. I think that you try and talk people into other options if they're willing to be reciprocal to the possibility of choosing other things. I don't think it's personally for me. I think it's not. I think it's indicative of a sick society where, we could try other things, but I don't think you can't make it illegal at this point. I don't think that a lot of effort should be put into trying to make it illegal. I think more effort should be put into trying to help society grow past the need for so many abortions, making people consider perhaps other options. But it's a thing. And you know what? If it was illegal, people would still be doing it. They'd be drinking things to try to abort the fetus. They'd be having illegal abortions. It would still go on. So what's the lesser of two evils? Safe, legal, medical abortions, or a black market abortion industry that thrives because of prohibition? If I knew the answers, I'd probably be a much more prominent person in the world. For me, I think it's not a good thing. I wouldn't encourage it. I wouldn't want anybody. I wouldn't, in my past, I wouldn't have encouraged it. And now, most assuredly, I wouldn't. I'm very happy to be a parent, but it's a shame. It's a shame. I think it's a shame that, there's so many things in the world that just are unpleasant, and that's the nature of life, But I think that, should it remain legal? Controversial statement, probably, yeah. I probably shouldn't spend much time fighting it. But should we work towards a society where it's not as prevalent? I hope so. So there we go. There we go. I hope I didn't piss off too many people. Maybe only pissed off half of everybody. But that's kind of where it is. Yeah, I don't want to see black market stuff going on like that. It's a shame. It's a shame, you know. But at the same time, you know, they've been teaching abstinence in school instead of protection, you know. And look, let's not act like adolescent teenage pregnancies are way down. I mean, it's been a dropping trend for decades. So that's good. I mean, education has been good in that area. So we have less and less pregnant teens. And that's a good thing. You know, I think that, you know, we, in some ways we move forward as a society. In other ways we move back. And I think that, you know, that's kind of where we go. That's how
I
it
think
is.
abstinence only training or teaching is dumb.
I think you got to do a combination of both.
Yep.
You teach kids to wait, but you tell them if they can't, they got to be safe, you know?
Or when you are eventually ready for that moment, this is what you do.
Yeah, I think so. I think that, and I said this when I was talking to Trad Cat Night, for those of you who don't know or came to the stream late. I did a show with Explaining Conspiracies on Wednesday, so you can go over and check that out on his channel, and with Trad Cat Night on Friday. And I said to Eric on Trad Cat Night that I think that, you know, God, I just lost my place completely. What was I going to say? I'm sorry, everybody. You know what? And as soon as I end the stream, I'll remember exactly what I was going to talk about. I apologize. I started reading the chat and I got thrown off. Forgive me, everybody. It is late. What time is it? It is 2:14. So I think we've been at this for a couple hours. Getting a little tired here. And I'm keeping Jen up way past her bedtime.
Way past my bedtime.
So I'm gonna have to wrap it up because again, I've had too much coffee and my back teeth are floating. So I'm gonna wrap it up. I want to thank everybody for their very, very generous donations tonight in the super chat. I am absolutely floored. I don't even know what to say, but thank you all very much. You really amazing. You're amazing people. Jen, thank you. I know everybody wonder why I keep looking off in this direction. It's because that's where the monitor is. Like my computer's all the way across the room. So when you see me glancing off to the side like this, that's because that's where I'm seeing Jen over here. The camera's right here. Now I'm looking at you. Now I'm looking over there at Jen. So that's what's going on. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, State of Fear has started. So if you didn't catch the video I uploaded Tuesday, that was the first episode of State of Fear. It's called Southern Devils, and it's about Southern Luciferians. It was based on an email I received. And if you have a story to share for State of Fear, you can send me an email at creepylittlebook@gmail.com and send your stories there. And we'll go ahead and make a video out of that for the new series, State of Fear. I want to hear your local stories, your ghost stories, UFO encounters, your cryptid encounters. I want to hear all that good stuff. Thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you to Jen for being here. You all have a great night. Special thanks to Tina, as always, for moderating. I really appreciate it. You know, to Darren, to Trapper, to Redbeard, to everybody who made these incredible donations tonight. Thank you so much. I'm really moved, and you guys are amazing. Thank you. Until next time, I'm Pete. That's Jen.
Hello. Goodbye.
This has been the Creepy Little Book. And until we meet again, let's stay creeped out.
And that's a wrap on this legacy investigation into Valiant Thor. And it's wild to look back and see how these legends help shape these cultural undercurrents that we're still navigating today. So if you're new here, we've definitely evolved quite a bit since this original broadcast. Now we're live 3 times a week. moving beyond the fringe to perform street corner scholarship, a little bit of dive bar philosophy on the real world shifts in technology, labor, and the human soul. If you want to be part of that conversation and help us find some stillness in the chaos, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. I'll see you in the next live stream.